Stationery, JC8. The doors on the right side will open.
Hello, I hope you're having a lovely day so far. So my name's Fiona, I'm an artist and illustrator, and today's video is a little shop with me / art supplies haul. So I've recently just gotten back from Japan, and one of the most exciting places to go in Tokyo if you're an artist is Sekaido. It is a huge multi-story art supply shop, 6 stories of stationery, paint, pens. It's an absolute must go if you're an artist and you go to Tokyo. I will just say at this point, I'm really sorry for the lights kind of strobing in this video. They weren't doing that in person, but it's just something about the fluorescent lights were making my camera go crazy. So I do apologize. I'll put a timestamp on the screen of when you can skip to if you just want to see the whole portion of this video and get past the flashing lights. Japan is absolutely legendary for its stationery. Even if you're not much of an artist, if you're a stationery nerd, I do hope you get the chance to go to Japan, because the selection of washi tapes, stickers, planner equipment, pens, stamps is so much fun. For me personally, my stationery supplies and art supplies have a lot of overlap. I love drawing with gel pens and mile liners and stuff like that, so this is really cool. So up in the upper floors of the store, we're getting into art supplies for real. There's huge selections of all different brands of paints, pens. There's a huge selection of art books as well, a lot of which are really hard to get in the West. If you're really into manga, this is an absolute goldmine. These remind me of the how to draw manga books you used to get when you were a kid, except way more advanced and way more detailed and cool. And there are some artist books as well, compilations of really cool illustrations. You might recognize this person from Instagram. This is Maruti Bitterman on Instagram. This is one of my favorites. I actually already have it, but I just wanted to show you it. It's a color combination dictionary inspired by Showa era design. There's a huge selection of pens here if you're into things like Tombow markers, mile liners, Copic markers. Also a huge selection of gouache if you like the brands Holbein, Turner. They're so much cheaper in Japan. It's crazy. They really are just a few hundred yen each, maybe just like a few dollars each. So I absolutely took the chance to stock up, and they had lots of really interesting colours I'd never seen before as well. So these are deleter screens. I've made a video before about using deleter screens. I will link it. It's hard to explain what they are without showing you, but they're basically like a screen tone sticker. I'll explain more about them later on. I'm not so much into watercolours, but there is a really huge selection here, and they've also got some really interesting mediums for getting cool granulating effects with your watercolours as well. And I had a little swatch sheet showing that. You might recognise these. These are kind of YouTube famous paints. I've wanted to try them for a little while. They're kind of a halfway point between watercolour and gouache, and they come in these pre-selected, really appealing colour palettes that just spoke to me. Alright, let's go home and rifle through everything and see what we bought. Hello, so I'm back home in Scotland. I'm not in Japan anymore, sadly. I've actually been back a few weeks, but my Sekaido art supplies haul, when I was packing to come home, I just piled everything into one bag and shoved it in my suitcase, and I've not opened it since. So I've been back home for a few weeks and I still haven't actually looked back and gone through everything I got at Sekaido. So I've half forgotten about it actually, so this is very exciting for me. But I've got a big pile right here. I'm going to go through it. I'm going to show you everything I got in Sekaido. Alright, there's no rhyme or reason to this. There's no category order, there's just a pile of things, but I'm going to dive right in. Okay, so I think you saw this in the video, but I got this watercolor set. You might have seen them before. I think a lot of people on social media and YouTube and stuff have these or have tried these. So this is a Gansai Tambi or Tambai set. Japanese traditional paint for professional artists and crafters. It can be used as a gouache and watered down for use as a watercolor. And that was what kind of interested me about it, because the color scheme of these colors just really appealed to me. But I'm not really a watercolor person. I use gouache a lot more than I use watercolor. But then when I read that, I was like, oh, okay, so it can kind of be used in a gouache sort of way. That's very intriguing. They had lots of different colour palette options, but this one just spoke to me. So I'm really excited to give this a try. I might make a video swatching these and like having a bit of an experiment with them. I've been in kind of a, I'll not call it a rut, but recently I've been in kind of a rut of just doing digital art and nothing else, and doing like very, very little traditional media. So I don't know, maybe this will inspire me to start actually like getting paints out and making a mess again. So I'm excited to use those. Oh, yes, and I got some other gouache as well. One of the coolest things about art supply shopping in Japan is the fact that you can get these brands that are so expensive in the West and they're so much more affordable. So Holbein, or Holbein, I think that's Holbein gouache, is the goat of the gouache world. They are absolutely top tier, they're so good. And they're really expensive over here, but in Japan, they were just a few hundred yen, I think. So maybe just like a few pound. So I absolutely stocked up. I've got ash green, light magenta, light blue, and leaf green. So I'm excited to use those. I also grabbed, this is a different brand of gouache. This is Turner Acryl Gouache. And this was really interesting because this one is called Lame Clear Diamond. And I think this is maybe meant to be, can you see the swatch there, how it's kind of glittery? I think this is maybe meant to be used laid over other colours to make them kind of diamondy and glittery. So I'm definitely going to try that. That's quite exciting. I'm not going to lie to you, I bought this because of the packaging. Look at him. Isn't he so special? I think it's glue. I'll have to find it. I think it's glue. Yeah, it's glue. Okay, so it comes with like a little spatula and it's just a liquid glue. I will use it. Like I have uses for glue. I like sticking things in my sketchbook. But yeah, I'm more excited to finish it, clean it out, and then use this pot for like storage because it's just really spoke to me. He's really cute. Shall we get into the washi tapes? There's many washi tapes. I'm a fiend for them. I love washi tapes. Okay, this one, there was like a whole Sanrio section. This is a Pokacho. I think he's called Pokacho. This character is a little dog character. And it's just like a little pattern of him and his friends on the side, like cute kind of yellow colour scheme. I really like this one. It's got whale sharks on the side. I'm gonna have to do the, is it focusing? I'm gonna have to do the YouTuber thing. Can you see it? Yeah, it's like a whale shark pattern. I thought that was really cute. I had to get this one, even though it's such a cliche Japan thing, but this has got Mount Fuji. It's like a pattern of clouds over Mount Fuji. I've been filling a sketchbook with like memories and drawings from my Japan trip, lots of which I drew while I was there, but I'm kind of filling in the gaps and adding stuff now so I don't forget anything. So I'm going to use this to like tape in receipts and tickets and stuff because it just seems very fitting. Oh, Mount Fuji. This one I have already used a little bit. Let me open it up. So I don't know if you'd call this a washi tape. It's more like a roll of stickers in like a washi tape format. As you can see, I've already used a couple, but they're these little stamps that are sort of transparent. Just thought that was really cute. I like that. This one I couldn't say no to. It's a Tamagotchi washi tape. Like, what? I love Tamagotchi. I never really grew out of them. I continued to really enjoy and collect them way after the point that the craze was over, and I still have quite a lot of Tamagotchis. But you never get Tamagotchi merch in the West, so I was really excited to see, not just in Sekaido where I got this, but there was lots of shops that had like Tamagotchi merch and things for sale, and it's clearly still really popular in Japan, so that was really nice to see. There we go, our little characters. Mamechi, I think that's Mamechi, Kuchipachi. Should we do pens? Should we do pens next? I don't know to what extent you would call pens an art supply because people just use them mostly for writing and stuff. But for me, virtually all of my drawing is done in pen. They're very much an art supply for me. And I get really excited at the pen section in stationery shops. So I've got here a Uniball 1 pen. I really like these. I've had these before and they're just really nice just really thin, smooth, really deep black lines, which sounds like not a big deal, but it's surprisingly hard to find if you get to being a pen snob like me. But yeah, my kind of criteria for what I want in a pen is I want it to be a gel pen, I want the ink to be really dark black, and I want it to not skip or jump at all. Like when you make a line, like have there be no gaps at all. That's surprisingly hard to find, but these are the goat. These are one of the best pens I've ever tried, so you know, I had to stock up while I was there. So that's a Uniball 1 pen, and I've got the 0.5 black ink. These I've not tried before. This is a Pilot Juice pen, and it's a metallic, I don't know if you can see in the barrel. You can see it's a metallic purple ink, which is very exciting to me. I'm not sure what I'm going to use this for, if I'm going to use it for like bullet journaling or if I'm going to use it for drawing. But I was just, you know how in stationery stores or art supply stores they have like a little swatch of paper out where you can like try out the pens. I was trying this out and the ink was so like rich, dark, metallic violet. I was like, ah, you belong with me, you're coming home with me. This is another purple gel pen. This is a Pentel, I don't know how to say that, Mate Hop. And this is another purple gel pen, but this one's not metallic, so clearly very different. Okay, I absolutely love these. This is a mild liner pen. I actually got a bunch more mild liners that I've already taken out of this package and started using. Actually, hang on, I will show you them in just a moment. Okay, yes, I knew there was a bunch more. I love mild liner pens. I know they're meant to be a highlighter, but they're just the nicest water-based markers that I've found. I love that they've got the chisel tip, and they've got quite a narrow bullet tip as well. And the colours they come in are just, I mean, maybe this is why they're called mild liners, but the colours are just really pleasingly muted. They're not too bright. They're really nice for sort of like landscape and environment drawing. If you saw my last Tokyo like art drawing vlog video, these are the pens I'm using for the drawings in Kamakura, and I think I got a really nice effect out of them, so you know, feel free to check that out if you want. But yes, I'm not sure where this one got separated from the pack, but those are all the colours I picked up. Again, these are a thing that you can get in the West, but they're just much more expensive. In Japan they're about £1 each, equivalent of anyway. So yeah, stocked up. And I also picked up a Tombow marker. This is another water-based marker. So these have got a really small, tiny little bullet nib for details, and they've also got a brush nib as well. These are really nice for using with water in a watercolour sort of way. Like you can, you know, draw a shade in your area and then add water to do effects. So yeah, Tombow markers are really nice. And I picked up, I know you can get these everywhere, but I just liked it. I was just drawn to this. I picked up one of these pencils that's got all different colours in there. Lead? What do you call it, lead? I mean, I know it's not lead. It's got all these different colours in the lead, so like as you rotate the pencil and draw, your line's going to change colour. I really like using these for life drawing. You know, if you're drawing someone, you might be like sketching long hair to have like all different shades going through the hair. It's just a really nice effect. So yeah, if you ever see one of these, they're often in kind of like kids art supply sections. I'm definitely not a kid, but I still really like them. But yeah, if you see any of these, pick one up. They're just really fun to use. And I picked up a Sakura gel pen. These are a really nice line of gel pens, Sakura pens. This is just a plain black colour, but they're just really nice for really smooth, really thick, like juicy lines. It's really nice if you see these. This is not so interesting. This is just a refill for a mechanical coloured pencil that I already have. Pilot Colour Eno mechanical pencils are really nice. They've got lovely coloured leads. I use the pink one for sort of sketching, so this is just a refill of little pink leads. I like these because they are erasable if you've got a coloured pencil eraser, if you know what I mean, like the really plasticky ones. And yeah, obviously the benefit of mechanical pencil is you don't have to sharpen it, you get a lovely like even thin line. I much prefer sketching with coloured pencil to graphite, so I really recommend Pilot Colour Eno mechanical pencils if you see them. And I picked up some fountain pen ink as well. So this is just a refill of plain black. I use fountain pens for drawing quite a lot. I've got a sketchbook that I'm working on at the minute, which is a pen only sketchbook. I've decided I'm not going to do any rubbing out or erasing in it, sort of as like a little challenge. And I've really enjoyed using all different shades of fountain pen inks in it. I'll show you that at some point. I'll do a sketchbook too when that one's finished. Drawing with fountain pens is just so, if you've never tried it, it's just so pleasing, and your lines are so like smooth and characterful, and yeah, fountain pens, fantastic for drawing. I also picked up the blue colour. I've been learning a bit of Japanese. I've been trying to learn hiragana and katakana characters, so that says blue right there. It's buru. And we've got some slightly fancier inks. Sailor inks are amazing. I really recommend Sailor fountain pen inks. They're so nice. So this colour is called Date Gokoro, and it's really gorgeous, sort of like colour changing, plummy, pink, purple, blue. I saw some swatches of this in the shop and it was just so beautiful. I was like, yes. And I know I keep saying this, but again, this is something you can get in the West for about triple the price. So this was, I think it was 1,300 yen. So about £7, and these can go for sort of like £25 and upwards in the UK, so I absolutely had to pounce on it. And here's another one. This is another Sailor ink. This one's Ripe Fig, and this one, if you're a fountain pen nerd, you'll know what I'm talking about. This one has got such crazy sheen on it. So it's like a purple plum ink, and it's got a really bright green sheen to it. So when you write, the ink comes out purple, but then when it dries and you sort of reflect it to the light, it's got like a green glitter to it that catches the light. Super, super pretty. This is what I love about fountain pens. You can get these crazy inks that you just can't get in normal pens. If you ever see Sailor inks for sale for a good price, go for it, because they can get really expensive. Oh, let me show you these. These are more kind of in like the stationery realm rather than art supplies, but I use them for my art business. So they're kind of like art supplies. These are just some really cute sticky notes. So this one is a cat, and it's got this area for writing here, and this one is a frog, so you're meant to write on like the frog's belly. I use these for when I'm sending out Etsy orders, when I'm sending out prints and stuff like that. I like to write a little thank you note and kind of sign my name, and I just think these will be a fun way to do that. I think that'd be quite nice to have like thank you for your order, you know what I mean? I've forgotten what this is. What is in here? Oh yeah. Yeah, more fountain pen inks. I really, really love fountain pens. Maybe I should do a video kind of dedicated how to get started drawing with fountain pens, because I've got lots of opinions on which pens are good to try, which inks are good to try. So these are Jacques Herbin inks. We've got a blue and a grey. Is that focusing? Oh well, you just have to trust me, they're fountain pen inks. Oh, and I got some lino printing supplies, which I'm very excited about. So first of all, we've got some lino sheets to work with. This is the type of lino that's much easier to find in Japan. The kind that's green and blue like that. I've heard people raving about this lino in blog posts and videos about lino printing, but I've never seen it for sale anywhere, and I've always really wanted to try it, so I was really excited to see it. And it was a super good price as well, like 220 yen. That's like £1, £1.50 per sheet, so that's really cool. I'm excited to try this. Also in the lino printing realm, I got this burnisher, I think you would call it. It's bamboo, and basically what you do with this is, I'll get out of the packet. So you hold this little handle here, and then this is a really flat surface, and you basically, when you're printmaking, you know, you ink your lino, you lay your paper, and then you use this to scrub over the top and really flatten the paper down into the ink, and it gives you a nice even finish. I've never had one of these before. I've always done my lino printing with literally like just like rolling a wine bottle on it or something like that. So I'm quite excited to have some professional supplies. So there we go. Again, super reasonable price, like 240 yen, like £1 or £2. Awesome. This is something that you can easily get in the West and is also possibly even cheaper in the West, but I was just whipped into a frenzy by all the art supplies. Okay, I saw these and I just threw them in my basket. So I've got some Caran d'Ache Neocolor wax pastels. I wanted to try these for a little while and I just saw them and was like, yeah, let's go for it, let's do it. All right, let's get into the sketchbooks. First of all, I've got an MD notebook. This is the B6 size. I've probably mentioned this before, but I don't really like using typical sketchbooks. I don't really like very thick textured mixed media paper. It's not for me, especially because I use fountain pens and gel pens so much. And what I really like is a very thin, very smooth paper. And that's what MD notebook paper is. It's super nice. It handles fountain pen ink beautifully. So I'm excited to use all of these with this. And I also got, this is like a concertina type book. So hang on, I'll just get it out and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so super cute, like Lucky Cat themed cover. There's the spine. There's another spine. Hold up. Whoa! Yeah, so filling this sketchbook, I'm gonna try and go for trying to do like one long flowing illustration that I like add to bit by bit as I go through the pages. I think that'll be really cool. So I'll report back when I've done a bit of work in this and show you what I've done. Again, in the theme of using things that aren't sketchbooks as sketchbooks, what I think these are actually for are collecting eki stamps. So eki stamps, they're a very Japanese thing. Everywhere, like a train station or a museum or an aquarium or any sort of tourist destination, they'll have their own unique stamp that's just there. And it'll have like the name of the place and a like little illustration. And these books are for collecting those. So you're meant to have one of these books and travel through Japan and collect eki stamps and fill it in as you go. I prefer to just like have a sketchbook, use a sketchbook, and then stamp eki stamps in amongst the drawings. I think that looks pretty cool. All right, last but not least, we have got deleter screens. This is the Sekaido packaging, by the way. Let me get these out and show you. So I've made videos about deleter screens before. I made a real-time sketchbook video showing how to use deleter screens. But what they basically are is a great big semi-translucent sticker. You layer over a drawing and then you trace around the drawing with the end of a craft knife and peel the rest of the sticker off, and it gives you this like cool screen tone texture over your drawing. If you've ever read much like manga, you'll know exactly what I mean. It's a really like common manga supply. And I also wanted to try this water texture as well. I'll link my deleter screen video below if you know what I'm talking about. So that was the Sekaido haul. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm so excited to dive in and start using all these art supplies. If there's any of these that you'd be interested in seeing a video about, trying it out, giving it a go, seeing how it works, please let me know, because I'd love to make things that you would like. That's what this is all about. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. This has been lovely. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and bye for now.